exercise here. Okay, let's go around that whole world. Oh, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. You know, okay, here we go. By the light of the silvery moon. Doris Day, she made a movie, and that movie was called that, and it was a big hit. But it was written in 1909, and it was first played at the Ziegfeld Follies. I mean, we heard of the Ziegfeld Follies.
Yes.
Like, it's like Radio City
Yes.
in New York. Wow, big thing. And so they sang it first. And again, this is by the light of the silvery moon, I want to swoon to my young room, love's tune, honeymoon, honeymoon, keep a shining in you. Your silvery breeze will bring love trees will be coming soon. By the silvery moon, by the silvery moon. I love that. Gentlemen, we're going to introduce tonight Fifth Neighbor. Why do I call it neighbor? We do 45 minutes of singing, and then we do 15 minutes of getting to know your neighbor. Now, we have one neighbor here who played with Bob Hope at the USO.
Yep,
Yeah.
we do.
We have one neighbor, and she stood on her father's head when she was 2 years old. He was teacher, and that's the lady directly for this. And we're going to meet some more people who did some amazing things. Can you imagine? You know, you've heard of muscle memory, right? The muscle memory that 2-year-old child experienced by the father holding her in his hands at 2 years old. And she ends up with Bob Hope standing on her father's head. At 22, 23. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Interesting. Everybody in America. And when you hear this song, of course, you think of baseball games. You think of, what do we eat at baseball games? Popcorn, Coca-Cola, hot dogs. Now, this guy that was on a bus, subway in New York, and he was with a friend. And he told that friend, you know, you need a song that'll really grab the audience. On the subway, he sees there going by a notice of a baseball game at blah, blah, blah station. He got home. Listen to this. In 20 minutes, he wrote this song that has become a national favorite. People like to sing it. And another surprising thing, it was first played at a high school game. And that very year, this is how fast it grew. From that high school game, it went to the Nationals, baseball Nationals. They were playing it there. And ever since, it has become a favorite for baseball. Okay, I'm set again. Let's hear it one more time. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crackers. title, Down in the Valley. It's an old favorite, right? Old cowboy theme.
Down in the valley?
Yes.
Down in the Valley,
Yeah.
Number 6.
number 6. And you're gonna learn some amazing things about that valley. A lot of people don't know it. You're gonna learn it today.
In the valley, valley so low, late in the evening, hear the wind blow. The wind blow, love, hear the wind blow. Late in the evening, hear the wind blow.
That's all.
Write a letter, send it by mail. Send it there on Birmingham jail, Birmingham jail. Send it there on Birmingham jail.
It's a beautiful harmony here. Now, Birmingham jail. This guy wanted his sweetheart, right? I don't know how long he'd been in Birmingham jail, but he'd been there a long time. He was crying this morning, write me, honey, write me a letter. Send it here to Birmingham jail. Every morning, the guards would hear that. They felt very sorry for the man. They couldn't do anything. Now, the name of this song is Down in the Valley. But that man who was crying at the bars, he wrote the song. And they called it, at the beginning, Birmingham Jail. And then the publisher said, well, I don't think that's going to sell very well if we call it Birmingham Jail. Let's lighten this up. Down in the Valley. Yeah. Imagine you buy a song that says Birmingham Jail. Maybe the audience would like that. What do you think? Would you buy a song called Birmingham Jail? Well, actually, in today's world, you might buy anything. I mean, you can say whatever you want. Hi, Jane. Okay, now this next song, I love the story behind this. This land is your land.
Yes.
Now, do you have the composer's name on that? Woody Guthrie.
Yep.
Now, Woody Guthrie, much to people's surprise, this was a political song. And he wrote it as an activist. He saw people lined up at the soup kitchen, and he said, oh no, this land is your land.
What's the black people?
Yeah, what dear?
Right?
What'd you say?
It was the black people, right, against the white people.
It became, that song, thank you. That song was
This land is
adopted.
your land.
This land is your land. That song was eventually adopted into the Martin Luther. I mean, this song,
Harry
songs
Bill-
that they sang.
Harry Belafonte?
Harry Belafonte. There were a lot of people marching in that. How many people have seen newsreels of that? I mean, walking right down that street, and I think some of those people got
On
harmed.
Hildy's program.
Say that again?
Yeah, they were showing what was on the screen. They were
Yeah.
showing all the different singers and like,
Now, this guy knows a little bit about movies and what's happening in movies.
Really?
He could add a lot to any discussion we say about movies, theater, television. Yeah, you see him there on the first page, right? He's celebrating his 80th birthday or 70th birthday at Good Morning America. Now, that's kind of nice.
that's me.
I tried.
Sure,
It's
it's
you. It's you. I tried to invite a few friends to my 80th birthday. I was lucky. I had to call them twice. You come and you come. So the whole, well, maybe some people were watching in Europe, but sure the United States saw your 80th birthday, young man. So he saw a sign one time and it said private property. So you weren't supposed to go on that private property. And it was a beautiful field. I bet you've gone down to the ocean and you see areas you can't go into because somebody bought that area. He was mad as heck. And he was saying, this land is your land. Not just for all those rich people up there in those big mansions. So publisher said, hey, we got to take that out. You know, we can't keep that in. We got to keep the innocent verses. I don't want any politics in this song. So you'll never hear those verses. They were taken out. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of a highway, I felt above me there is a skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. First verse again. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. How many people here feel a sense of patriotism? Patriotic. Sure. Yeah. I mean, you could, what are those three big patriotic songs? Help me. American. Oh,
Oh, beautiful.
how many people love that one?
The skies.
That makes you feel so good.
Yes.
Now, there's a story behind that. I'll have it for you next time. It's a great story. Great story. I gotta remind myself of it. Okay. Now, do you see the next song? No. Yeah, Mockingbird. Yeah. Now, just a minute here. I told you about the girl who stood on her father's head. American troops had pushed, you won't find it on that paper, dear. This is another show. This is one of the first shows we introduced. But some people there didn't see the show. I just want to show you. The Americans had pushed the Nazis out, and the American troops were coming in along with Bob Hope and the USO. And
That was
so-
you with the USO. Caroline, you're Caroline.
I wish it was me. I wish I could have stood on my father's head. I'm just happy if I stood up. So, now, let me tell you, what was I going to tell you about that? So, that person lived in Nazi Germany. I bet that wasn't an easy thing to do. Hiding in basements, ready to run. Now, this next song, I want you to be honest. And I want you to look back in your past and tell me the truth. When I was a kid and I heard Mockingbird Hill, I saw a little bird sitting in a tree, and another bird would go chick, chick, and this mockingbird would go chick, chick.
Yes.
Raise your hand if you think that's true. Nobody?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? That's why it's called a mockingbird.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, if Mitz was here, how many of you know Mitz? Yeah. Mitz plays the American native flute with us each time. And unfortunately, she couldn't change her day. We got changed from Tuesday to Friday, so she couldn't come. She taught me a lesson. The mockingbird comes, and she has it outside her house. She said she has trees with these mockingbirds, and anytime a horn of a car. Woo! The mockingbirds go, woo! Now, do you believe that that's true? Sure, sure.
Absolutely.
And a guy in the other audience, one other audience, because I told him that, and he said, yeah, because I was saying not the birds, it was the cars. And he said, yeah, but who did they mock before the cars? No, that was it. That stopped me. I said, okay, both are true. Both are true.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you talk, they might say what you're saying, so you better be careful.
Yes. And they
Yeah.
mock other birds.
And they mock other birds. And now we know they also mark car horns.
Yes.
Okay. Deborah.
One summer, Jean was trying to sleep, and all night long, this mockingbird, he swears, went to Europe and learned the European siren, wee 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 wee.
Oh.
All night long, he would sing that song, and Jean goes,
When am I going to be able to sleep?
yeah. We haven't heard him sing that song for a while.
Thank you. Deborah's also from my church as well as her husband. And beautiful voice. All the choir master says, Deborah, don't you miss the rehearsal. When the sun in the morning beams over the hill and kisses the roses on my windowsill, and my heart fills with gladness as I hear the trill of the birds in the treetops on Mockingbird Hill. Tra-la, twiddly-dee, it gives me a thrill to wake up in the morning to the mockingbird's trill. Tra-la, twiddly-dee, there's peace and goodwill. You're welcome as the flowers on Mockingbird's Hill. Isn't that a gentle, gentle song? Who made that a great sensation? Who remembers Patty Page?
Today's Tuesday, isn't it?
Say that again, dear?
Today's Tuesday.
No, yeah, today's Thursday. Yeah.
Today's
Tuesday.
Friday.
Oh, okay. I'll take whatever you.
It is Friday.
That's all right. Now I'm totally confused, but I'm gonna go to church tomorrow.
I think,
Okay, now, hold on. Patty Page. You don't remember Patty Page?
Of course we remember
We're all
Patty
that
Page.
age. We heard her become a star. Patty Page was leaving Chicago, going to New York. She was ready to meet with her agent, get the next song ready. Someone rushes in from Mercury Publishing, music publishing company. He was looking for Patty. And he said, Patty, don't leave. I got a song for you.
that's in Chicago.
It was in Chicago she was going to leave. This guy will correct me because he knows these stories. He's movie, theater, television. Yeah, we all got one. We're bragging about you. Okay, here we
Don't
go.
say anything beyond that. You don't want me to say more than that.
Did you see what he did?
Yes, love to hear it.
That's what I'm reading.
That's the way, sometimes it's a happy one. And then sometimes it's a, that's how we
Tonight, I hope so.
Give me 5, kid. Okay, so the record from Mercury, the producer convinced her. She's heard the song, she loved the song. They recorded the song. When she went back to New York, the song was already out there. And her agent said, what the heck did you do, Patty? And all she could say was, I made myself famous.
That's good.
And that's exactly what she did, right, Mara?
Did she do
Right.
something with Les Paul, the guitarist?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did it with a lot
They
of people.
they collaborated.
They collaborated. Honey, she was big. She collaborated with a lot of people.
Les
Now,
Paul performed with
repeat
Mary
that,
Ford.
dear, repeat that. You said something?
Les Paul and Mary Ford.
Les Paul and Mary Ford, big, big names. Now, the next song, what number are we on?
9.
9. The next song is a good old summer time. This song was written in 1902.
Oh my God,
Yeah. No, you weren't born yet.
Irving Berlin? Was it Irving Berlin or? Or not.
It says Chet Atkins, but it says the
He was a
chords.
country singer?
It's
Yeah.
It's you recognize that name? The chords by Chet Atkins. It doesn't show here who wrote the lyrics. Tin Pan Alley. Has anybody
Irving
heard
Berlin.
has anybody heard the expression Tin Pan Alley?
Yes.
Sure. Do you know what it is?
No.
I heard it. I didn't know what it is. What is it? I looked it up on Google.
Songwriters.
Yes. It was a row of publishing. When you said I did something at Tin Pan Alley.
Yeah, in New York.
Yeah, it's like saying, well, I was at the Radio City and
Yes.
you know, Tin Pan Alley. If you get a song published there, you're in.
Yeah.
So this song was published at Tin Pan Alley. Oh, yeah, I think it does say that. Oh, no. Hi, Rosa. Hi. The good summertime, in the good summertime, strolling down the shady lane with my baby behind. I hold her hand and she holds mine. That's a very good sign. That she's my Tootsie Wootsie in the good old summertime. What's Tootsie Wootsie?
Yeah.
What's Tootsie Wootsie? The people who have.
That's number 9?
This, and by the way, this is the third time we've used this music. Next time we got new music. But I love this music. And Tootsie Wootsie, the composer, looked by his baby crib and he saw his little baby. You know how babies are limber. I mean, we couldn't do this, we'd break our backs. But the baby had his foot in his mouth. And when Daddy would say foot, he would say Tootsie. So the composer said, that's kind of funny, Tootsie Wootsie. And so, hi there,
Your attention.
he's like,
While he was waving and looking at you.
honey, don't
Maybe
you
it's a
know,
joke.
man? He was waving and flirting with you. God, I kind of know this. Okay, now, goodbye, Joe. Jambalaya. As soon as you hear the word jambalaya, is you can think of?
New Orleans.
Thank you, food. And is there anything special you think about with that
Orleans.
food? New Orleans, where it came from.
Yeah.
Anything special that's in the hot?
Yeah.
It's hot.
Crawfish.
And practically everything.
Yes.
You know, everything. So you can clean out your refrigerator if you got some leftovers. My niece-in-law is Cajun. And boy, when you go to her house, well, she cooks everything beautifully, but when you go to her house, you're first in line in the kitchen. That jambalaya is good. Goodbye, Joe. Me gotta go, me oh my oh. Me gotta go, pull that barrel down the bayou. Buying fun, sweetest one, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, gonna have big fun on the bayou. Give me a high one. Virginia, how you doing? How you doing? Doing okay?
Was that Harry
Virginia is my sister.
Harry Belafonte also?
We became sisters because we like each other. Good. Hey, What number are we at now? What song are we at now?
11.
Amazing Grace.
Amazing. You guys have been terrific singing all these songs. Would you pat yourself on the back? Now, before we go to Amazing Grace, I want you, we're gonna talk a little bit about our neighbor. Remember, everyone we introduce, we eat in the dining room with. They're our neighbors. And we don't know it. I mean, you walk in the dining room, you see a wrinkled old lady, you say, oh, wrinkled old lady like I'm wrinkled. No, these people, now, I told you about Lottie who stood on her father's head. Okay. Well, someone else you missed. Theater artist, singer. I'm sorry you can't see it. No, it's not on that paper. These are past shows. These are past shows. No, we're not at you yet. Okay, these are past shows. This is a theater artist. How many people know Desiree?
Yeah.
I don't hear a lot of yes. Desiree came from Nazi Germany as well. She wanted to get out of there. She told her husband, I'm going. If you stay, I'm going. She went. He did go with her. What did they learn later? Everyone, family and friends that were left behind, whether they went into the gas chamber or whatever, never heard of them again. She started learning the drums at 94. Now she plays with a 40-piece band at Cal State Fullerton. She got her first master's degree at age 74. And after that, she thought that one master's degree wasn't enough, so she went ahead and got 2 more. And she's smart as can be today. Now, we're going to talk about Joe.
I hate him. You know I hate him.
We always talk about him behind his back.
I do talk, but I'm never sure of myself. I do my best.
Do you know what? Joe is vulnerable. How many people get up and show their weaknesses to people? They want to, yeah, I did this, I did that.
I know this guy.
I know.
And I know these people.
I know you know.
They're people from New York.
They're people
When I was
from-
working on Good Morning America.
And were you the wardrobe supervisor for them?
On the weekend supervisor.
Now, you guys, Joe wanted
And that was on 66th Street, between 66th Street and 67th Street on Columbus Avenue.
Now, Joe, in your young years, his television, he got attracted to acting. Oh, I'd like to be an actor.
Well, you're making me back up. Let's see. In the picture to the left, Joe was celebrating his 80th birthday on Good Morning America in New York City. Bet that's the same cap he wears around here.
Now,
I had several caps in New York which are still there in the apartment, for whoever took over the apartment.
how many recognize? Go ahead.
Because I had I don't know if it was a co-op or a condo. Well, anyway, I took a loan out at the bank, at Citibank, because I have financial stability. Anyway,
Oh, hey, hold it, it's my turn.
go ahead.
My turn?
In the picture
So,
to the...
my turn?
Huh?
My turn? This guy's hard to, when he wants to do something, he'll tell you, I'm doing it. Hold it, hold it. Now, when he was a kid watching television, he said, God, I like those actors. Wow, it'd be neat to be
Yes.
an actor. So he took some auditions. Now look at how handsome he is. I don't think they were looking for a handsome guy. They must have been looking for some ugly guy. Because he would have got it on his looks with me. I'd be your girlfriend. Okay, now, so he didn't make it. He did some chorus work. He did some extra work. And then, go ahead, tell him what happened then. How did you get into wardrobe?
In Chicago, I came out to service, I was working on a restaurant, Wimpy's, And the woman came and she was a wardrobe supervisor in Chicago. So she said, they have the ice shows with Sonia Henning. And then I was taken into the local
Yeah.
at the next date. That was in Chicago.
So that was the first show you started working on as a wardrobe?
Yes,
Now remember, if you see those pictures on the other side, he has worked with Robert Redford.
yeah, it's in my apartment.
Say that again. Oh, okay, you remember that show?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Death Wish is the first one with Charles Bronson. Second one is George Burns. But this is not the one that I worked in. This is the one with John Denver. I worked with the one was called, what do you call it?
The same,
Book 2.
yeah. So
And
it's
then-
the same kind of show. This was book 1, and the other one that
And Chuck
this
Norris.
fella did.
Chuck Norris. This was here in New York. I think I had come on a vacation. Or no, it was after I came on vacation. And then French Connection with Chicago altogether. My mother passed away there. She was 70 or 71. Godspell I did all in New York. Then there's 3 Days of the Condor. And there's a picture of myself interviewing my friend's mother and aunt at the Booksellers Convention in Washington.
Yeah.
And his name with Cheech Corvell, here it says K-A-R-V. It's K-R-A-V-A-L-L-E. So anyway, and here's the,
Just New York, New York.
yeah,
That last picture. Let's turn again to the front. So
here I am.
here he was. He was a kid with a dream. Okay, it turned out a little different. You know, how many of us had dreams and we thought we were going this way, but then we went that way, right? My pastor always says, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. You're right. Yes. And you can count back in your life. Oh my God, oh no.
Oh God,
Yes.
X.
oh God.
So this kid, yeah, his dream went another way, and he had a pretty interesting life.
Like it.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting life.
Shall
He
I
also
read it?
toured. He also toured with.
Shall I
Whitney.
read it?
Go ahead, Joe.
In the picture to the left, I'm celebrating my 80th birthday on Good Morning America in New York City. Bet that's the same cap he wears around here. I was born in Chicago as a teenager. He loved the movies and wanted to be an actor. He did a lot of extra crowd and chorus scenes. He was an extra in Gene Hackman's French Connection in Chicago and in Damn Yankees. That was in New York after I moved.
Damn Yankees.
Damn Yankees.
He played in the
Guys and
chorus.
Dolls, first Broadway show, he worked backstage instead of on stage at 46th Street Theater in New York. Joe worked as a wardrobe dresser for the chorus. Boys, Wish You Were Here, was Chicago. Here, Wonderful Town in Chicago with Carol Channing in Chicago. He moved to TV, Steve Allen show, that was in New York City. Steve was a nice guy, really was. One-time show with Johnny Carson, never friendly. One-time show with Johnny Carson, I said that, never friendly. Joe did a 2-time special with Julie Andrews, Carol Burnett, that was in New York. 2 friendly ladies. He did a weekly show with Carol Burnett called Buddy with Buddy Hackett. Joe trucked it in and busted and on tour with Valley Rooster Monte Carlo.
As a wardrobe, I'm
As a
sorry,
wardrobe.
they cut off that, as wardrobe to the men. I took that from your note. Now,
I'm done.
you're terrific. Now, I want to tell you, when you know Joe, you know he's got a time schedule. this is what I do here, this is what I, okay, don't interrupt me, can't talk, I gotta go.
I try to be careful that I'm correct.
I mean, really,
Right
that
now,
clock shows I do this. Now, Joel, may I add something? I can imagine an actor is coming off stage. Joe better be there, he's got to change that actor, and that actor's going to go back on stage in 1 minute. If he's not there at that exact time, sorry, Joe, you ain't got a job. So look at what time trained him, he trained his mind. So we have to look at people's background to say, yeah, he did that for so many years. Of course. Now, we're going to hear from a beautiful voice. We've got two beautiful voices here. If we could turn a little this way. Myrna is going to start us in Amazing Grace.
should I go now?
Oh, you can sit right there.
He's got a schedule to keep.
Now, you guys, did you get a feeling that you really know Joe? You could see him in the cafeteria. No, another old guy and an old woman. This guy. How could you not love him? He is so real. I mean, he's not trying to be nice, and he tells it the way it is. He tells his faults. Okay, okay. How many of us do that? Gosh, we're not that honest with people. Let's give him a hand. Let's give him a hand. Now Myrna is going to start us in Amazing Grace. She'll sing the first chorus, then we'll repeat the first chorus with her, and then we'll sing the second chorus.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Myrna, let's repeat that first chorus with you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I once believed.
This man who wrote this song,
When
he was on his knees
there,
and he was saying, Lord, save us. They were in the middle of a shipwreck. Waves were coming over the ship. I mean, anybody knew, hey, that's going to go down. And he said, Lord, please save me, all the crew, this ship. The ship didn't sink. The ship didn't sink. He was transformed. He was never the same person again. The shipping he was doing, he was shipping slaves, black people, from Africa to the shores of America and various other countries. He never did it again. He was a transformed man. Now, I'll just tell you, I'm not personal, I'm not like this guy, but I have been transformed. Now, whatever God you have, I believe God is love. And if you show love, if you act like love, if you give people love, you're walking in God's shoes. And God is walking with you. I didn't know that. And when I found out, I was transformed. And I have a very different life today than I had 3 years ago.
Who isn't?
I
Me 2 years ago.
love this guy. I
I
love
had
this
my
guy.
95th birthday.
God bless you, dear.
Thank you.
Now,
I'm 96 now.
96. Now this is for you to take home, for you to show family and friends, hey, I live with this person. When somebody visits me, I say, hey, I got some stories to tell. And I take out my storybook. And I say, da 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 da. And their mouths drop open. I say, wow. Wow. God bless you. Love to you all. And remember, love is for everyone. Wherever you are. If you would leave your song sheets on the chair, we use those again. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Carol.
That's yours.